Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Now Loading Esports. Today we've got another scrim with Drexel's Team 2 versus BSU. I'm joined today by my friend Sponty.
Hey Rick, how you doing today?
Doing alright. Had a nice hefty chicken dinner today.
I had a cheeseburger before our stream here.
Oh my. So we've got a few swaps here for Team 2. Actually, just one. Hayes, I believe, will be swapping in on the DPS on the side of Drexel's Team 2. Other than that, we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of what we've seen in the past. Uh, in the past, we've seen a little bit of a struggle in terms of team play on the side of Drexel's Team 2. So I'm hoping maybe a leader has started to stand up. Hopefully they'll be getting some more concise calls, a little update on their team compositions on certain maps. But otherwise, I'm excited to see what they have to offer.
Me too. Maybe Hayes will be that shot caller that they've really been needing to help confirm what they need to do in these matches.
For sure. It appears that BSU is missing two of their starting players, so until that point, I'm not sure what kind of map picks BSU is looking for. I know Drexel sort of just decides to roll the maps so he can get as many in as possible. That is the standard.
hmm I would assume we're going to start off on a control map of some kind though, probably Lijiang.
Yeah, I would expect a Lijiang as well. It's sort of the classic starting point for most scrims. Something I'm hoping to see is maybe a little bit of ball. I'm hoping Zaya is sort of branching out, or maybe Garfield, if he happens to be on the tank today. I don't know if they've decided to mix it up, but I'm hoping to see a little bit more of ball. I know in my experience, I've seen a lot of a lack of ball in the sort of lower echelon of the scrimming elo. So just having that ball really helps. It really is a powerful character that you're really missing out on if you're not running. So I'm hoping they get it.
Yeah, Ball has crazy momentum, 600 HP, he can get shields. He's practically unkillable and can cause a lot of ruckus in your team comp, especially if you're running Brawl.
And really, it doesn't take too much to at least do your job on him. Just be a disruption.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take you killing six every fight, and having mines on cooldown to do your job. All it takes is a little bit of disruption to let your damage characters really seal the deal for the team fight.
Yeah, paired with the Discord Orb from Zenyatta, his slams could be super effective at a very good range for his hit scan or potentially a Pharah.
Absolutely. And Lijiang is definitely looking like the first map that we're going to be playing here. So here on... Wow, I can't remember which map this is. Garden.
Yep.
Usually you're going to see a ball comp where you'd be seeing a sort of six-man dive. Looks like we might be seeing that from the side of BSU. I know typically... Oh, we are going to be seeing a little bit of Zaya's ball. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, taking a page from the notebook of Team 1, running Wrecking Ball Zen, hopefully a Pharah as well.
There's that Pharah. Yeah, definitely looking like a Team 1 comp. Barry maybe on the Tracer instead if we were trying to do a true recreation. Oh, well, there you go.
Must have heard you.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got to be stream sniping or something. Gonna get that Pharah in. Yeah, this is pretty classic stuff. We're gonna be looking at a brawl, actually. That's interesting as well. We're gonna be seeing a Lucio Moira with the
This is
brawl
gonna
on the side of
be
BSU.
this is definitely gonna be very interesting to see. Brawl can hold the point down really well, but as soon as they start to fall apart, it's probably going to be over for that particular fight.
A lot of
I think
flanking
this Wrecking Ball
angles.
comp has more sustainability.
I agree. A lot of, like I was saying, there's a lot of flanking angles. There's a lot of little cracks that Pharah can take advantage of. She can shoot on point. So if Brawl is going to win here, they're going to need to capture point and then rush onto their Zenyatta as fast as possible. You see Lucio going to do exactly that.
Almost gets
gonna go
Zumi right off the map.
That would have been pretty cool. I'm looking for them to break that teleporter and try to seal the deal. once they do start to gain momentum.
Now Drexel just needs to look for a good opportunity here to maybe get a pick, maybe a slam. Looks like Zaya's gonna roll through and try to not slam, but get some burst damage and rolling through there.
That's all ball
And
really
now the
needs
point
to do.
is
I agree with
unlocked.
Slam coming in from the ball there, trying to follow up with Hayes as far there, getting the turret down. Another Symmetric gonna come up. Torb really not gonna do too much. It'll control the Tracer a little bit, but this map it's honestly pretty difficult to do that. There's so many angles that you can go, and as I say that, Hayes taking down Symmetra. Turret getting taken down, yeah. Drexel ideally wants to finish as fast as possible on a little unfortunate
down.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. Moira has a Coalescence already. That is very fast and pretty advantageous for them, honestly. That's super fast Cole on the side of BSU. Well done. And the unfortunate little misplay from Drexel there is going to lead to a lost team fight.
Do you think that Drexel probably could have taken that point if Mercy didn't fall off? They weren't really engaging after getting that initial pick from Hayes there.
I still absolutely think they could have taken it. Yep, and as I said,
speaking of picks, there's another
pick on D.Va.
They're up the D.Va with the barrage. This is looking like a free barrage if they move in, and now Zumi gets a pick on the Moira.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates on the side of Drexel. I'm hoping they don't pop them all to try and secure this fight. There's a pulse bomb. They do pull out beat. The mines are still on the front side of the point. Barrage comes in and going to get only the Torbjorn. Still winnable, but Sim and Ryan go down, and they should just be looking to stall this point out if I were BSU.
Drexel is committing almost all of their ultimates, but
a very awkward bomb on the side of J-Dot from BSU. Not sure if I agree with that one entirely, but regardless, Drexel taking the point, and we're going to have to see what happens in the next fight.
and now we're looking at a 80% to 0 here. It's gonna be a close fight if they give this point back to BSU's rush. Looks like they're teleporting back onto the point, as to be expected with Sim, and they're laying out the welcome mat to block anyone from coming in.
That wall is pretty strong against the ball pokey comp here, but Lupine getting booped off, unfortunately, by Zaya. A huge shatter coming out, going to get the tanks, a Remax bomb going to hit, and a nice pulse onto the Reinhardt. Really going to seal the deal. Oh, Barrage also coming in. Little ult on the Pharah.
Popping all their ultimates except for Minefield. Not sure if that was quite necessarily needed, but it did help them confirm the mini battle there and extend their match here.
Yeah, BSU also popped a fair few ultimates. Going to see some swaps here. We're going to see a Roadhog now instead of the Reinhardt and of Cassidy with Soldier as well. That's pretty weird. They evidently definitely want to try and counter that Pharah, but to be honest, it's a pretty awkward way of looking at it. It's a very ranked mindset, but a lot of team play really does help to counter a Pharah, not letting her pop off.
A nice mines by Zaya here, covering a quarter of the point.
And the
fights are even.
No breather. Likely dead soon. I'd be amazed if he managed to live. The support's all the way behind on walking across the bridge now. They're not going to get the follow-up. The Hog is going to unfortunately walk directly into those mines, though.
They did, however, turn the point over to BSU. Now BSU's getting some free points here, and Zaya accidentally got knocked off the map.
Accidentally rolling off the map. A Tran's going to come through to negate that beat that BSU threw up, but this is a losable fight for Drexel. What started out is looking pretty decisive. Bomb coming in on the side of J-Dot, not going to catch much, but this is 99% for BSU. They're in a good spot even if they do lose this fight, but it doesn't look like they are. They're getting many picks here. Really incredible stuff. Drexel needs to go into stall mode here if they're going to have any hope of bringing this back. But it won't happen.
Looks like the double hit scan pick, you know, reigns superior with these wide open angles. That's on Zaya to be able to roll through them and disrupt them and cause them to, you know, lose track of that Pharah.
I'd say a lot of awkward positioning that really led to their downfall. You know, Soldier was getting caught out a lot by Hayes on the Pharah. He was doing very well. But in the end, they just sort of were awkwardly positioned and couldn't manage to sustain through their Hog double hit scan onslaught.
Now we're back onto Control Center. Sorry to interrupt you there. I was about to say the same thing.
Yep.
But we're going to be on some more rush comps.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff here. We are going to be seeing a Sigma on the side of BSU and a Cassidy instead of a Symmetra, apparently, on the side of Drexel. So I'm interested to see how the teams are going to play this with slightly altered picks from the standard that you'd usually see here on Control Center with the Symmetra Junkrat or the May Junkrat, or rather the May Symmetra that you would typically see.
Yeah, for sure, BSU is definitely going to get to White Room much faster than Drexel. Actually, they do just slightly faster.
Still enough to push them out of that main choke. They're going to have to wrap around main, which honestly is better for them anyway, given that Junkrat spam. The Cassidy, not sure how much value it'll be able to get here, to be honest, against that Sigma. The Sigma actually a pretty good pick. Normally I wouldn't say that, but if they were running a Symmetra, but against the Cassidy, kind of hard for him to get value, and I say he's sort of chilling in the Mega right now. Not a whole lot he can do from over there.
There goes Unwritten to the Sigma balls, and now everyone just seems to be falling after their main support.
Yeah, as expected, to be honest. You don't really have too much upfront pressure without that Symmetra. You can't hold the corner if you don't teleport out with the Junkrat, so they're really running with the worst of both worlds, trying to pick up that DPS line. I'm not really a huge fan of it. Maybe a bit early for a window there. It is going to stifle their push for 10 seconds, but perhaps could have gotten a little more value out of it. J-Dot does have the Shatter online as well as Zaya, and both at the same time are going to go
both sides. Wow.
J-Dot's just slightly larger. Very nice. Very well done by J-Dot. Still have that window online. We're going to be coming up on a beat as well as a Deadeye here. Going to see what happens. BSU coming up on a lot of ults as well. About 4, maybe 5.
There's the pick onto the Symmetra really early on.
Really big onto the Sim. The Tire is going to come out, but only catch an Immortality field. Not really going to get a whole lot of value out of that.
Drexel's got to make a move here. They got a really early pick, as Symmetra can come back fast with her TP from spawn.
Sure. See a Flux here. Going to get 3 people in it, but the beat's going to come through and effectively negate that Flux. Not a whole lot coming out from the High Noon from Hayes here. Still a very even fight. Very winnable for either side as I say that. Hayes, Unwritten, and Zaya all getting taken out. Oof.
It seemed to me in that fight there, everybody was fighting their own battle. You know, no one was focusing the Sigma, who's just chilling by himself in the corner.
Yeah, you got to be disciplined when you're running this brawl comp, and it's not really coming through here for the side of Drexel's team too. Barry going to be shooting out a nice little Tire. No Immortality in sight, and Barry going to take out both tanks. Zay getting a huge pin, and Drexel will make this a very quick team fight.
Well done for Garfield for breaking that Immort to give Barry some value for the insta-kill ult there. And now they have a fighting chance. They're gonna opt to hold the choke here, but J-Dot
huge
just
slam
through Barry and hit the supports in the back. Now they're down a main tank, so now they have to play this extra safe because it is final fight territory.
Unfortunately, they're playing just a little bit split. Garfield going to throw out a hero bomb to try and work anything. Hayes does manage to get the pick onto J-Dot.
Oh, man.
But Cashless Doctor there managed to clean up everybody with that Tire. Zaya, the last one breathing for Drexel's team 2 to try and stall this point out. Down he goes, and it's stall mode now for Drexel's team 2.
The rest of Drexel's coming back and might be able to possibly turn this if you get a pick here.
They're going to be taking down Hayes on the off angle, but just too many shields and immortality fields. Just too many abilities, too much DLC there for that poor little Cassidy to do anything. Zay on the ball trying to do his best he can, but the beat going to come through. Not a whole lot of HP on his side. He's going to try and spin to win here, and it's not going to lead to much.
Might be one more touch here, and that doesn't look like it.
Very opting not to blink onto the point. I'm going to guess he didn't have a blink there. We're going to take a peek at a Ryan Shatter. I'm assuming on the side of J-Dot, he hit a few good ones here. Yeah, this was the nice little simultaneous Shatter. Unfortunately, J-Dot's just a little more in position. Yeah. Happens more than you think, and it was really well executed by both sides, but J-Dot just a little better, a little more in position there.
Yeah, Zaya went to Shatter in front of him, but didn't realize that J-Dot was actually to his right in the corner. And J-Dot managed to shatter, I believe, 5 people on the side of Drexel, completely negating that entire push.
Really well done. Here on Night Market, we're looking like another ball comp. I'm happy they're practicing these. I think they're really useful. We're going to be seeing that far with a soldier on the side of Barry. Maybe a little atypical, but I'm happy to see the ball far regardless.
I actually think Ball is a better pick on this map than the Gardens. You know, he has both these megas on each side he can grab. Doesn't have to worry about getting a heal or two.
Nice pick on the side of Hayes. I think Ball works incredibly well on both. I mean, it's a really good hero right now, and especially against a Reinhardt, doesn't work too well. Oh, that's Zaya, unfortunately, getting booped, trying to pile drive back. It's just not going to happen. Hayes getting taken out by a sim turret, of all things, and it's going to lead to a BSU victory.
Yeah, I think Unwritten got a little bit separated once Hayes got taken out by the sim turrets. She was on the side of the coast over there and just got picked off, and Zaya unfortunately got booped as well.
Very unfortunately getting a little bit staggered here. They're gonna need to wait a little bit longer to actually make a full push into this BSU front line. A little slamage, a little bit of poke. D.Va trying to force Zaya out here. Make it flashbang, but likely not going to be a kill. Ball, just too much survivability on his hands. Hayes managed to pull out an immortality field from Baptiste. Really nice. That's huge to actually start and, you know, manage to get picks on this team fight. That immortality field really huge. To say that a window coming through from Jeff Frank. Gonna see if that leads to any picks. Likely not. This comp is really well built around.
They is trying so hard to get in there and get some roll throughs or a slam, but that flashbang and the boop is just completely stopping him. Then he's getting tossed around by a Reinhammer. It's
very dangerous. Very hard for a ball to get value here, but the mine's gonna come through. Beat on the side to try and counteract those mines, and Hayes gonna get taken out by a fire strike.
Fire strike, yeah. Dark Swag absolutely sniped Hayes out of the sky with that fire strike.
Barry trying his best to make things worth that soldier visor, but it's not gonna happen. He does manage to counteract that high noon, but not a whole lot to be done. The res on the Barry. Barry needs to not feed this right now.
Yeah, the point is looking to be about captured now. They only have one more push here. They need to get a regroup in. Hopefully Zaya a touch, and then we can get a barrage in from Hayes.
We've got a few ults here. Barry unfortunately getting taken out very early in this team fight. Gonna be a 5v6 immediately with Zaya getting solo shattered and been taken out. The ult from Hayes gonna come through, but not get much value. D.Va's DM making sure of that. D.Va bomb coming through, not going to catch anybody but Pharah. Not going to have much life there. A res, tempted and negated.
That's just an absolute wipe.
Yeah, relatively smooth sailing for BSU on this this run of Lijiang.
That just seemed like a stagger fest on that point in particular. I mean, after that first fight, a couple people kept getting picked or going in for whatever, and then just dying.
Yeah,
they weren't able to get back together.
A lot of exactly that. A lot of dying. A lot of not playing your life. When you're playing that sort of pokey style of comp, you really got to sit back and sort of let your Pharah do the work. Sort of let her fly around and do a ton of damage, pull out the immortalities. And I thought Hayes was doing a decent job of that. But unfortunately, too many people are getting picked off in the process. And it's just not going to lead to a victory at that point. Junkertown.
Welcome to Junkertown. Ready?
Here's a map I'm not sure if we've seen Drexel play before.
Yeah, I also don't think we've seen them play this one. Classic double shield. Let's go. Always a fan of the old horsey. Going to be seeing the nice defensive Zenyatta, as well as the Baptiste here. A lot of teams will opt for the Brig here in the case of dive, but I don't think they're gonna have to worry about that. Junkertown not super popular for dive compositions. But as I say that, we're looking at a Tracer and an Ana. That could be a bait, but I'm excited to see if that actually comes through. Little mix-up from what you would typically see.
Yeah, this map is notorious for being the, you know, double shield map. either sitting on that payload or sitting on this high ground on the defense.
Yeah, ball definitely playable. Just makes it a little bit harder. You definitely have to work a lot harder to try and disrupt that double shield. And with the built-in CC of both Sigma and Orisa, it makes it a lot harder to sort of play ball, metaphorically and physically.
Yeah, and BSU, from the looks of it, is not running double shields, and I did notice that Barry and Hayes are opting to pick snipers. It's going to be really hard for BSU to take care of Hayes, especially, as well as Barry if they're going to sit there behind these two barriers.
We're looking at a full dive here with the ball monkey, perhaps. That would certainly be interesting. At least for me. It's not something you typically see. Ball and monkey fill very similar slots on the tank role. Being taking space with their movement abilities and performing that cleave damage. Ball a little better at it right now, which is why you see a lot more of him. But playing both at the same time, sort of redundant. It's definitely workable. And against double shield, you know what? I don't hate it. But we'll have to see how it works out.
Yeah, you're right. You know, Wrecking Ball and Winston both have that engaged capability to start the fight and help the team, you know, get a pick. So we'll see how they coordinate these two engaging dive tanks.
If I were to guess, I would assume the ball would wrap around that silo on the left, sweep through at the same time the monkey dives. That would be pretty excellent coordination on the side of BSU, and I would be a huge fan of that, but you gotta wait a little bit to try and get that cart sort of pushed around the corner, and it doesn't look like anybody's gonna be sitting on it for a little while.
Drexel's already aware of the fact that there is a presence from both Tracer and Wrecking Ball to their right, and now they gotta play this correctly so they don't get slammed on both
Nice right
sides.
click from Zumi, very well done, but Lupine, nice shot on Unwritten. We're gonna make this fight a lot harder. Oh,
There goes
Lupine,
Barry.
evidently, relatively experienced on the Widowmaker. Want to make short work of this Drexel defense.
Dark Spike just swings in and wipes away Zumi and gets out for free with his grapple.
A very strong hero. It's difficult to play Zenyatta into that ball, and as I say that, there comes the brick swap. Hayes does manage to get a little bit of value on that Widow before getting taken out by Lupine. This could end up in a one team fight. Only have the Mercy up for heals on the side of BSU, so more sustain on the side of that double shield composition, and as long as they're not taken out by that Widowmaker,
Yeah, they
sailing.
did take down the Winston, but Lupine is sitting back there for free with that, you know, this being the sniper map. Hopefully gonna get some value against a double shield. But Hayes does find Mercy, and now they're down support. Oh, actually, Ana just came back, but
Do a lot of work there. Hayes gonna get taken out by the Tracer. Very anti-ed and half HP. Might get taken out here. Oof, but a nice whip shot from Zumi going to save the day for Barry, at least for now. Yeah, a lot of staggering coming in here. The monkey jumping in. Probably could have jumped out, but they're valking him in. The ball also on point. Primal. That's a lot of HP that the Drexel's gonna have to play through. Mine's on point. Going
wow,
to
Phantom
use those
Pain.
2-3 ultimates to win that team fight.
Yeah, he primaled on top of the mines that Dark Spike put down, and he actually booped Garfield Pipe right into the mines. That's actually not a half bad combo.
Yeah, very well done on the side of BSU. Like I said, a little unconventional, but it's pretty interesting to watch them execute it, because seemingly working pretty well against this double shield combo. That's going to be active from both characters.
That was a
Cash,
great shield bash from
really nice
Zumi.
shield bash on the side. Is going to take Cash out immediately. Gonna have to start this team fight without him. Nano Monkey going to be coming in. A single CC. Going to come in against that monkey. Not a whole lot of value that you can really get against this much sustain, but the ball going to be coming in at the same time. That double cleave really strong. Garfield going to try and flux to make sure that this team fight doesn't go south. Really securing it there. Well done. Zumi hitting the rally as well. Don't know if that was necessary, but
Same with
suppose
Barry
better
popping
safe
his
than sorry.
dragons as well. They used 5 ultimates to win a single fight.
Yeah, it's not something you want to see. Typically, ult cycling, you work with 2 ultimates, and if you don't win the fight, you use more. But I honestly do think that with just the 2 ultimates they used first, that they had the team fight under wraps, but opting for more ults to really secure it. Barry swapping to the soldier after getting taken out by Cash. Hayes as well. Cash's Hanzo proving to be effective. Nice rock. Side Garfield. Very low HP. Gonna get taken out by the Hanzo again. Cash for the 3rd pick this team fight. A bongo on the side of Zay to try and deter the monkey, and he's going to get picked off, but the res is gonna come through. The monkey get taken out. This is a winnable team fight for Drexel at this point.
Barry did get to pick onto the Wrecking Ball, so hopefully they can anchor down on this point and maybe kill the monkey or support and hopefully win.
Zay looking anti here. They're going to need to try and focus that, or it's a heart if you're going to get any value, but it's not going to happen. DPS on the side of Drexel putting in work here. Lupine trying to counter that at all costs, but it's just not going to happen. Double shield, very difficult to play through as Widow. Well executed with almost no ultimates on the side of Drexel. They do manage to scrap together and ward off BSU for another team fight.
Oh, Barry getting a little greedy, poking out the window there, and he gets headshot. So now they are down.
Small excursion activity. Dragon coming in at the same time as the monkey jump, going to be taking out Zaya. Early picks on 2 of their teammates, not going to work super well. The window going to come through for Unwritten. Probably not going to get too much value in this 1v6 scenario. They need to run if they're going to not get cleaned up here. It's not going to look like it's going to happen. I would be amazed. And there goes Unwritten. Honestly, they could afford to push up a little further here. They could get those picks that are really close. Ooh, Harry punishing Lupine for getting a little too greedy with the cleanup there. Set's going to be coming out for Hayes. Going to see what happens with those. Getting pushed out by the ball here.
Rally
going to be coming in. I'm not entirely against that rally, especially when they nano the monkey. That nano monkey going to be doing very little damage against an inspired rallying Brig.
Everything's kind of all over the place right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of split gameplay here, but it's going to be in Drexel's favor. A little easier to coordinate just naturally, but they're going to be taken out by Ball, by Dark Swag. Still could technically go either way here. There's a very split gameplay here on the side of BSU, but they're just throwing themselves. Looking a lot like a deathmatch, and Zumi going to get taken out by those mines.
A nice flux on the side of Garfield Pie. Will it get any picks? I don't think so, but Barry does follow up on them.
Barry definitely able to follow up, and now a good amount of stall. Very possible here for Drexel's team too. Definitely going to die on the cart here, but you can do all you can to try and make this team fight last as long as possible with those close spawns. Sort of
Zumi and Garfield are the last ones standing, but honestly, Brigida and Sigma are hard to kill in their own.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, and BSU opting to wait for that full team regroup to try and get another entrance onto the payload here. Try and win this team fight and seal the deal for Junkertown 3rd point. I see the ball starting the stage along with the monkey here. A nice sonar arrow on the side of Cash to try and see who they are. The monkey going to see up top, and a nice dragon is going to split them off. There comes the pick onto Hayes with it. Barry trading with the Ana, Unwritten trading the Hanzo. Again, a very winnable fight on the side of Drexel because of this split gameplay that we're seeing. Unwritten using that window to really try and seal the deal, make sure no shenanigans happen. I like it. I think window is a very expendable ult that you can do. I don't know if it was entirely necessary, but better safe than sorry, like I always say. That window coming in to deter them and force a full regroup of both teams. I'm really looking for some cohesion here from the side of BSU. More coordinated as that first push they had was really nice. Lupine doing a lot of work on the Widow, but now it's sort of falling apart. We need to see a lot more cohesion that dive unit. They're gonna try and displace these very stable tanks.
I'd like to see some more cohesion from Drexel too. I mean, Zaya and Hayes are on the point with Unwritten, but then up top you have a Barry, Garfield, and Zumi.
Bashing the mines out of existence, Zumi. Well done. Flux coming out from Garfield, another one. That's really nice, but not going to land on anybody. Primal Winston will maintain that cart progress, try and keep their overtime stagger going, but gets harder and harder as every passing second goes. High Noon from the side of Hayes going to try and deter them from any sort of strong push, and Zaya with the bongo going to make it super difficult for any picks to happen on the side of BSU. They do manage to catch Barry a little out, but at the end of the day, we're looking at a very 2CP-like situation here.
It's looking very good for Drexel.
Lupine trying desperately to try and make something work. I will say, from experience, this is certainly possible with respawns. For BSU, try and come back
Lupine is
from this.
still alive, but
Still
didn't
alive,
have a
but-
blink in
yeah.
time to contest again.
Not able to stay on cart for just that extra second or two. Not going to make it work. Almost pushing all the way through, but not quite is BSU. We're going to see if Drexel can clap back with a stronger performance on their offense.
Yeah, it's definitely winnable for Drexel.
Ready for battle.
We're going to see a nice little Sigma ult. Side of Drexel's team 2 here, Garfield. Using that window to advantage, melting that ball, and we're going to see a huge flux here. Getting those picks early on, winning that team fight. Again, this is where we see a lot of overcommitted ults. There, we saw 5 ultimates in that team fight. That was essentially won with that with that Sigma Flux and that window combo. So, you know, hopefully Drexel can clean up their ultimate usage a little bit better, try to cycle them in a slightly smarter way, and Drexel should be sailing relatively well if they can manage that.
Yeah, you know, ult cycling is very important when it comes down to team fights. Maybe not in an overtime situation, but when there's time on the board and you're using all your ultimates, you're just setting yourself up for failure in the next team fight.
Absolutely. Looking like a hog composition here with a May. Little awkward comp here from BSU, but I've seen them perform well on the Ball Winston, so I guess we will see how well this turns out for BSU in the long run.
Yeah, they even brought out the Roadhog on Legion Gardens as well.
Yeah,
Not sure how much
pretty
value it
impressed by
got,
that.
but it looks like to me BSU is rather more comfortable on the more unconventional compositions.
Five, four, three, two.
We're going to be starting out on that double sniper, double hit scan on the side of BSU. When we've seen the traditional Widow Hanzo on the side of Drexel's team 2. I gotta say, I've got to give the advantage here to Drexel 2 in terms of team composition, but it's all a matter of positioning. Roadhog very good at counteracting those individual mistakes, but it's a lot harder to make those when you've got 2 barriers to work around. So that Zay getting pulled up, but that Fortify really coming in clutch. Just way too much sustainability on the side of that character for that much value to come out, but Barry going to be taken out early by an Ash Dynamite.
Yeah, Dark Swag pulling Zay up there actually gave Drexel some space making.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, but as Roadhog, you really have to choose your battles and who you're going to hook, because a Fortified Orisa is not something that you want on the high ground poking at your entire team from behind the shield. So a little bit of an excursion here from Dark Swag around the corner here. Maybe with a little bit of coordination, they could have managed to come together and punish that Roadhog, but not a whole lot of mind being paid to him. So he's just gonna sort of sit there for free.
Yeah, he's just kind of walking around with no one to be looking at him, getting some picks while Lupine is throwing dynamites in their backline.
Yeah, really, cue the Overcooked 2 music here, because this Roadhog is seriously just controlling that right lane, not allowing any sort of push to go through for this double shield composition.
Yeah, he's just taking joyrides on the flanks and getting some flanks. But Garfield did swap to the Hog. Maybe that is a good idea against BSU's composition.
Yeah, I
if-
actually don't mind it. The Hog v Hog battle can be a little more fruitful than you think, but that whole Hog going to come out and catch Garfield in the corner, and really not a whole lot of counterplay to that one. Just have the charge advantage, cashless, getting the pick onto Barry, and Drexel committing ults in this 4v6. Something you don't see too often, but something definitely possible. Hayes making the pick onto cashless, but Unwritten getting taken out and making the sustain a thing of the past. Drexel need a regroup.
ESU did commit a good amount of ultimates there for that fight, however, so this could be winnable for Drexel if they maybe pop that rally and coordinate as a team to get in on somebody. Maybe Zenyatta, Sigma, or even that Roadhog.
Got a sites coming online for both teams. Not really too combo heavy, but we're gonna see how they manage to use it. Darkspike getting pulled down from Garfield, gonna get picked off. Probably
And
the
there's
first
a
time they
really
managed to
good
him
pick,
out.
yes.
Very well done on their side. We're going to see Cashless pop sites, or rather Haze pop sites later on in the fight. Hopefully that leads to some progress on the side of Drexel Team 2. Otherwise, this is going to be looking like last fight territory. Cashless getting the pick on a Berry. A Flux coming in on the side of Phantom Pain. We're going to see if that leads to anything, but there's a lot of sustain still active on the side of Drexel. Haze going to get picked off by the Roadhog, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter too much. As long as no more picks happen like that inside of BSU, it's like smooth sailing. Bongo coming in to really secure that fight, but Zenyatta going to take out Zumi. But likely not going to lead to too much. Ash going to drop
Oh,
Bob.
they are going to commit Bob.
Ooh, might be a little bit of a misplay there from Lupine to try and commit Bob into that fight. Maybe a swap. And there it is. There's the swap to Widowmaker.
Poor
So
Garfield
Drexel,
got the...
Go ahead.
Go
sorry.
ahead. I was just gonna poke fun at Garfield for popping their ultimate, but they got to shoot maybe one bullet before it got rocked in the face and completely canceled.
Classic. Fortunately, Roadhog is one of those characters where if that happens, it's not the end of the world. I really would like to see Drexel sort of take initiative and push up a little bit beyond the cart here instead of playing directly on it, but...
Barry's on an excursion back here, and he managed to get 2 picks. He's underneath the staircase behind their team. He gets 3.
Barry effectively allowing his team to free push this entire point. The Soldier are going to be one of the last people standing to try and make the dream work for BSU, but it's not really going to happen. He's just going to be staggered longer.
Excursion actually worked. I'm not sure how he ended up there, but I think he rotated down the stairs by the Mega and came back up on the other side.
Well, I'm always a fan of a little Barry excursion. Garfield gonna try and swat Cashless here out of the back line. Not really gonna do too much. Overcommitting to try and get this stagger is not something I really want to see here, but
Drexel is trying to chase the staggering Soldier. Cashless is back there running for his life, and Drexel's committing ultimates up front.
But he goes with the front, but they're down 2 players because of the Soldier just running rampant in their backline. Not really something that I want to be seeing here, but
he's definitely doing this on purpose. They finally get him, but it was worth it.
It was definitely worth it for Cashless. BSU had a huge advantage up front because of the really massive excursion that Garfield and Barry had to take to get Cashless out of their backline. And I had to deal with that today with my own team too there. I had to give them the spanking for doing pretty much exactly that. So a nice visor on the side of Barry going to come out. Phantom Pain getting it hooked in the middle of his Flux. Not going to get anything with it and getting picked off immediately. 4v6 scenario here for Drexel. They need to get these cleanup kills quick if they want to manage to clean up, and they're gonna.
This is final fight territory here as the cart comes around, only 10 meters away.
Gonna need to swap to slightly stallier characters here. Aristo gonna want to opt to keep that Bongo. Cassidy here. The Bongo are gonna be coming out on the side of Zaya. They've already pushed it past the mark where BSU managed to, but here in the Scrim code, that's not how we play things.
So much damage coming out. Wow.
That is, yeah, Bongo, really strong ability, comboing at that rally for the sustain, having a Baptiste in your team, really well done. Nice job on the side of Drexel Team 2 for bringing it back there after taking maybe a little too long of an excursion there to try and get Cashless out of their backline.
That was honestly super entertaining to watch. Cashless was just running around for a solid minute for his life, running away from Garfield and Barry. And Drexel actually committed ultimates up front, only with 3 people on the cart, and it ended up losing.
Yeah, Barry messaging me asking me if I enjoyed that excursion, and I definitely did. So now we've got Scrim's Row. We're gonna head back to Junkertown for a moment to see a nice visor out of Barry here to really help clean up that 3rd point and ensure the victory for his team. Yeah, really good stuff. I mean, the visor almost takes a back seat to the luscious tracking that we get here from Barry. You know, it's a ton of damage combined with that bongo later on. This soldier can be a menace to have to deal with, especially when he positions himself on high ground.
Yeah, even especially in overtime situation, do you leave the cart to kill the biggest threat on the high ground, or do you contest for your team? Like, it's always a hard choice to make.
Right, that overtime stall always a double-edged sword, especially when you don't swap, when you opt to keep those heroes that sort of do better on the sustained fight. It makes it a little bit harder actually to deal with those sorts of threats. So even if you do have an ultimate like Bongo coming out, unless you can really get that 6-man contest all at once and not manage to stagger to try and touch the cart, you really should get rid of those ultimates to try and get a nice stagger on the cart rather than opting for a 6-man stagger like we just saw out of BSU.
On King's Row, Barry is going to be running Junkrat.
Not the first time I've seen it, to be perfectly honest. Not something I entirely agree with, but it is definitely a map that Junkrat can work more on. A lot of closer chokes here that Junkrat can sort of spam through, especially if they opt to go to Hotel. The smart thing for BSU would be to wrap around the wide side of the statue. They are running a May and a Reaper, which makes Hotel look a little bit more viable, maybe a little more attractive for them to walk through. But against that Junkrat, it's really going to make it difficult. So once they realize that Junkrat's there and they can't rotate through Hotel, they're going to get a massive wall on Zaya immediately and get some value out of that Reaper, or they're just going to need to swap it. They're going to need to opt for that Cassidy, get some more long-range damage going on that left side, or rather on the far side of the statue.
Yeah, you know, BSU's rush is way more effective up close, but Drexel's rush is a little more effective towards a close to medium-ish range with the Cassidy and the Junkrat spam. So I'm curious to see if Lupine will be able to get a wall and then enable Cashless to get in there and click some heads with Reaper.
Like I said, a really nice walk minute for BSU going to mark Zaya. Not a whole lot going to come through, but the Immortality does get pulled out. Some resources getting pulled out. They're going to need to wait a little bit to actually try and recontest this on the side of Drexel.
Zaya almost falling there. He was so low.
Yeah. They're going to need to give a few ticks here if they're going to need to recontest. Zaya trying to get some value, but going to get taken out immediately. A huge shatter already from the side of Dark Swag. Really well done. BSU seamless. Going to take the first point. Very short amount of time.
Yeah, that was a very fast shatter. You know, there I would have liked to see Drexel back up behind the archway, get the shield back, get the health back, and amp speed back in.
We do have a tire on the side of Barry, as well as a window to try and take a little bit of space. We got a window on both sides, actually, but no other ults for BSU. Going to be looking for that playmaking here. Can easily push past that and counter window. Sophie, I'm looking for it. There it is. Nice counter window. The tire going to go all the way around, try and get some value here. Going to be just on Jeff Frank, but Darkspy going to be taken out with the power of that window. And nice quick response from the side of Drexel to take that team fight back, take the momentum back from BSU.
And now BSU has to back up because they lost a couple players here. They lost their main support. They lost their Reaper a little later too. Now Drexel's going to be able to hold this choke here.
Choke's definitely holdable. It's very hard to wrap around. It's hard to know that you have to wrap around, in fact. The Immortality already coming out. A Maywall going to seal the deal on Zaya. The Immortality from a Rin not coming out quite fast enough. A bomb going to come out and get two. Seal the deal for BSU. Phantom Pain. Nice bomb. Going to need to wipe that Baby Diva on cart and a little more progress inside of BSU.
Dark Swag has gotten 2 shatters before Zaya just now got his first shatter online. He keeps dying too quickly. Maybe because the Maywall, or maybe because the fact Garfield's not helping him with Matrix. But
yeah, that Maywall Reaper combo really puts a strain It makes it very hard for Zaya to swing, so I understand the lack of ult charge here, but we've got to manage to outplay it. A bad Maywall not going to come through, and a nice E on the side of Garfield. Great E. Oh, but a nicer shatter coming out on the side of Dark Swag there. Zaya going to get his shatter blocked. Both beats going to come out, but ooh. Garfield going for a Hail Mary bomb here to try and get some value, but it doesn't look like it's going to get much. Dark Swag going to get crunched a little bit by that. They're a little split right now. It's the BSU, both teams rather. Both teams are very split right now, but this fight looking to go in BSU's favor at the end. And that really is a cap. Well done, BSU. Okay, not quite well done yet. There it is.
It's done.
Thank you, Lupine. Pushing forward, try and get these stagger picks. You cannot be staggering right now, but Dark Swag.
And this another shatter.
Healing himself, shattering in the spawn. Gonna get taken out by a little charge there from Zaya, but the damage is already done. A lot of late spawns now coming in. Zumi gonna have to walk out of spawn now. Oh, but Primax feeding a little bit. Lupine. Wow, this is just an absolute death match right now. Oh, and a window body shot from Hanzo going to take out Zumi. Hanzo going to come out. Barry gonna get 2.
Wow.
What?
That
Really
dragon might have just
sloppy
saved
play.
them from that very, like you just said, sloppy push that was happening on both sides. Dark Swag and Primax getting very overconfident and going into the spawn.
Yeah, a little too confident, maybe a little too hungry for that showboating swag bucks. But we will. We're gonna see another one coming in.
A nice shatter from Zaya.
Nice shatter. The wall gonna come off. Try and hamper the staggering cleanup here. Oh, a kind of awkward freeze here. Garfield's gonna get taken out. No immortality. Zumi also gonna get taken out. This might be winnable. High Noon going to stifle any progress that BSU could make in this team fight. Zaya trying his best to try and swing on that Diva, but it's actually a winnable fight for either side right now.
That was actually a pretty good High Noon being able to allow Drexel to get their lost players back.
And a nice window fire strike combo on the side of Drexel going to take out Dark Swag there and really confirm that this fight is going in the way of Drexel. Because up until that point, I really believed that it could have gone either way, but now we're going to just be seeing Garfield coming back from spawn. Might have to give just a little bit of space without that Diva, but it doesn't look like BSU going to be fast enough to really make that an issue. Got a few ultimates online here from BSU. Only got a dragon so far. The bomb going to come out and get Haze. Phantom Pain, another nice bomb. Going to try and start this fight out. Barry shooting the dragon right on cart. Not going to catch anything, but going to lower the HP bar of Dark Swag. Ooh, and a nice pick out of Barry. Very well done, but the dragon going to catch Zumi, and Zaya going to go down from the residual damage. Garfield throwing that bomb out. Not going to do too much with the rematch. Gotta love that buff. Lupine going to get squished, and Barry with a nice headshot. Really going to seal the deal.
Wow, that was very well played.
All that for a drop of blood. Nice squish on the side of Garfield there.
You know, I don't blame Lupine for getting squished. Sometimes when I'm in the middle of all mass chaos, I end up getting squished. Quite often, actually.
Yeah, it definitely happens. It's hard to avoid at times, to be honest. You know, you think you're in the right spot, but there's a baby diva right next to you, and she wants a nice little Mimi clip to put in her montage. Nice Maywall, but not going to catch Zaya too far out of position. He's going to be able to back right out of it. The dragon coming through from Barry. A shatter going to be coming out from Dark Swag. Not going to catch much. Zaya going to be pushing up on that with the shatter. Going to try and break that shield. I'm expecting a shatter here from Zaya. And there it is.
Massive 5-man. But they had feet up.
Unfortunate. Dragon going to be coming through on the side. Cash is going to put some damage. A huge free is going to get a few there. Try and deter them. Hayes going to be taking out the beat, saving the rest of them, but this might be wraps here for Drexel unless they can make something happen.
Yeah, Garfield does have bomb, maybe a kill or two or a squish.
Both bombs at the same time going to come out. Oh,
but Phantom Pain is bigger.
Just a little stronger. Hayes managing to take out Cassius and try and stall the point for as long as possible, but This fight is definitely looking like a staller for Drexel. Maybe they can get some sort of overtime here. Dragon
He needs someone to get on cart. Barry did dragon the cart.
Yeah,
Now Zaya's here and he went right past the cart and gets shattered.
Sailing right past the cart. Zaya, Hayes, and Unwritten trying their best to try and stall this cart for as long as possible. They are going to get that overtime. And Garfield gets the eat. Nice eat on the side of Garfield. It's hard to say that this is a winnable fight for them, but a little bit of
Zaya's coming back with Shatter. He shatters too.
Shatter, but a nice beat from Primax in that cubby there. They're going to get picked off. Garfield's going to go down. They just need to finish up the people on this cart, and there it is. BSU going to be taking the third point of Kings Row in overtime.
I gotta say, the Lucio on the side of BSU is very good at positioning themselves to be able to beat any incoming ultimates from Drexel.
Yeah, I'll give it to both Lucios now. On the beats that came in were all relatively good. Just on the side of BSU, they really had the momentum in a lot of those interactions and helped. We've got a May ult on the side of BSU here. Lupine getting a huge freeze here. Freezing that D.Va, throwing it out. Going to get a few stuck there. The beat going to come out. Like I said, the beat really managing to save a lot of the team there, but in the end, it wasn't really enough to seal the deal and get them the win.
Let's take a look at how close that card is. Lupine threw a freeze, got a few kills off of that, and then later in the fight, Garfield Pipe actually ate another freeze. So within those 10 to 15 meters, Lupine actually gemmed 2 freezes.
That is an incredible amount of damage. I mean, you can see it in the you can see it in the scrim code. Getting out dealt only by the Hanzo and the Reinhardt. The other off tank. Yeah, a lot of charge that he got in those final seconds. Those popsicles do a lot more than you think, especially when they're all hitting your head. See, maybe a Reaper out of the side of Barry. I'm excited. Barry opting to play the Reaper a lot, sometimes in the rank that I know of, and I do know he enjoys the character, so I'm hoping to see a lot of big plays coming out of this no longer Reaper Barry. It's very sad. Hey, back to Reaper Barry. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna see more of that Sig Rhine combo from BSU that they opt to play. I don't hate it. I think it's a pretty decent combo. In fact, it was seen as meta at a certain time. But every time I say something, man, they just switch their characters. Phantom Pain opting for the D.Va. I think that is a smart decision. Sigma versus a Mei is pretty hard to play against. But once they realize that they're playing the Cassidy and the Reaper, maybe they'll opt to switch back to the Sigma. I don't know. Seeing the Hanzo, they're seeing that Mei, they're thinking, gosh, why didn't we go far out? Opting to go into the hotel, I think that's a smart decision. Trying to take as little damage as possible before interacting with that brawl. A lot of value that Cactus is getting on that high ground. Lupine going to take out Barry immediately. No immortality though on the side of Jeff Frank. He's going to get Darkspike killed, and this is a very winnable fight here for Drexel. I'd look to see Garfield sort of try and contest that Hanzo up top there. Really the main damage dealer on the side of BSU right now in a very fast window for Unwritten. Very useful, but Zaya can get taken out. This fight could really go either way.
They're supposed to watch out for the respawning Ryan. Okay, they do take him out. Wow.
Wow. That is a pretty quick beat on the side of Primax, but unfortunately it's too little too late.
Yeah, everyone on their team was dead.
Zumi has the beat as well. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I play Lucio, I get a beat maybe every 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not the best Lucio in the world here, but a lot of smart play from both Lucios. I gotta say, maybe the unsung hero of these matches so far. A lot of ultimates on the side of both teams here. Maybe 4.
Barry is on a little bit of another excursion. Maybe gonna be able to find a pick. But he quickly has to leave as BSU realizes he's there, and they're gonna try to catch him off.
Garfield gonna try and feed it, try and get him out. He's gonna get that Redneck bomb out. The freeze gonna come out. A crunch going to half Darkspike's health. really don't know which way this one's going to go. It's looking for the side of BSU, to be honest. Wow. That was a lot of ultimates. But in the end, BSU came out on top. Drexel still having 4 on their end versus the Shatter and Bomb on the side of BSU. We're going to see how they manage to utilize those ultimates.
Wow, Dark Swag just fell so fast.
Dark Swag getting melted because of that window.
So far, Drexel's only used 1 ult this fight, and they might not have to use any more until BSU gets their main tank and their off tank back.
They're going to DMAC and kill Phantom Pain. I am looking for a little bit of a push up here. I'd like to see Drexel try and clean up these not full BSU players, but I'm just going to play it safe, going to play the cart, and allow them to get a full regroup before this recontest is necessary. A lot of ult on the side, and there's 1, there's 2, Window and Dragon, try to split them apart. Zumi gonna get killed in the Dragon. Unfortunate. That might be the first flubbed beat we've seen on the side of Zumi there. A little unfortunate. Zaya pinning in, trying to make anything happen. It's just not going to. Barry does manage to take out Cashless, but to no avail. Once again, we've got a lot of ultimates on either side. We've got 2, both DPS ults and a bomb. Probably a Shatter as well, going to be coming out in the next fight. We've got the Shatter, the Bomb, the Lupine, May Freeze, and the Lucio Beat for the side of BSU. A lot of ults here. I'm not sure how they're going to play this on either side.
This is looking like to be a fight where a bunch of ultimates are probably going to be committed. I see Lupine on the high ground, maybe looking for like a flank freeze. But Barry's on the flank too, and he gets a pick with his visor. And then Zaya hits a nice 3-man shatter. Garfield eats the flanking freeze I was just talking about.
Wow. Garfield has eaten 3 of those May ults. He is putting in work today on that diva.
And just like that, at least 5-6 ultimates were used on both sides.
I think you're right. I think that was 5 ults in total. And 4 of them on the side of BSU in a fight that they lost. Oh, Barry.
Skill shot.
Wow, getting Hanzo'd immediately with that sonar arrow. A little unfortunate, but what are you going to do? They're now down Soldier. Still a winnable fight. They could commit some ultimates here and try and turn it. Zay with the Shatter coming online. We could see a Shatter Bomb combo here to try and seal the deal. There's the fucking...
Oh! I don't know if he got Dark Swag down with it, but I'll give Dark Swag props for trying to block both. As a Rhine player myself, it's so hard.
It is very
block
difficult
that combo.
that, yeah. I would say I was trying to explain that concept to Jax that he could try and transfer to Daniel, some of our own Team 2 players. BSU not gonna have to touch. 2.5 minutes on the side.
Yeah, very
of
well
Drexel
done by
too.
Drexel, despite
Really well
a couple flopped fights.
Yeah, you've really got to, when you see that bomb come through, you have to speed back, and you have to block both. Otherwise, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's very unfortunate, and sometimes it really feels impossible to even do that. But you just have to have quick instincts. You got to react quickly to that bomb and back up as fast as you can. Otherwise, that will happen. We're going to see a bomb on the side of Garfield here. There it is. There's that Shadow Bomb we're talking about. Yeah, if you are, if you're the Rhine in Swag's shoes there, you gotta have to try and speed back and get behind that bomb and put yourself in between, or rather put yourself behind the Rhine and the Diva Bomb if you have any chance of surviving that combo.
Yeah, you know, that's really the only effective way to stop that combo against a coordinated team such as Drexel, which they slammed and bombed almost simultaneously. So
a lot of that team play that I was asking for in the previous scrims really coming to fruition here. I'm liking it a lot.
It's all our equations are correct. Good choice.
5, 4,
We are going to see maybe Rush on the side of Drexel with a Torbjorn. You know, I really like Torbjorn in this map. You could put the turret in the most inconvenient long-range spots and just pester the any flankers and wrecking ball that might be you might be going against.
Yeah, a little interesting
5,
watching Brawl played here. Not Sanctum, not typically a map you see that on, but I'm interested to see how Drexel pulls it off. The Sig Ball comp that we're seeing on the side of BSU here, maybe a little bit more traditional. Already, Zaya opting to go main instead of taking that right room. That could spell trouble if they decide not to move into there. Opting to give BSU the high ground with their pokey comp is not something that I would recommend, especially when you're playing that Brawl comp. A lot of value that comes out just like that, getting just that spam damage, getting the ball to roll through. It's going to get bashed, but it's got so much health it's not going to matter. Immortality gone from Sophie. Not great. They might get the point here. They might try to deny him that. Drexel is going to take the point, but a lot of damage, a lot of ult charge, all going to go BSU's way because of where they opted to rotate at the start.
Swag is already 75% through on his minefields.
Not a whole lot of pick potential here with this comp. Normally you'd see a flanker or a Pharah, but they did opt for some mid-range and long-range. Sophie with the window might be able to seal the deal here. If the pick isn't maintained here, that's usually why you enjoy playing those flankers on this map. When you're playing that Sig Ball comp is to follow up on stuff like that. Huge mine's going to come in and try and mine off that backside of point. They're going to get picked off by Lupine, and both DPS now gone for the side of Drexel.
Okay, now it's looking like Drexel is just going to have to contest, see if they can get any sort of pick at all. They do pop the rally in hopes of, you know, sustaining to get some more percentage on here.
Zumi gonna get taken out. Zaya with a little bit of an awkward charge, and team fight finally at 50% going to be taken by BSU. Honestly, I would give the comp advantage to Drexel in this situation because of the lack of a flanker on the side of BSU. That lack of confirmed kill by the side of a flanker is going to make things a lot harder on them. I would normally I'd suggest the poke, but
That's a
nice
big
shatter.
shatter on Zaya, getting both supports, I believe. But wow,
Cash was going to manage to get two. The res gonna come out, get Jeff Rank back in there, and maybe winnable, but I would be very surprised if Garfield and Zumi managed to pull this back.
well played by BSU for being able to, you know, recognize that they had some players get hit and killed by Shatter, but they committed Torbjorn's ult, which is a welcome mat, and you can deny access to the other team from crossing, so very well played.
Yeah, very, very nice molten core on the side of Cashless. Hayes going to pay Lupine back for the earlier Hanzo sonar arrow that he shot into Barry last map. Vi's going to be coming out from Lupine. Not a very powerful ultimate to use directly in the face of your enemy. But Dark Swag going to clean Zay up with a slam. Primus going to get taken out. Zumi getting taken out. It's an absolute slobberfest right now, but even as I say that, more picks happening here and there, but the poke comp going to reign supreme in these scenarios, and we're entering last fight territory here for Drexel.
I'm surprised the Wrecking Ball is, getting so much value on this close quarter part of the map when Drexel is running Rush. They gotta be able to find a target, amp speed on him, take him out, and move on with their day. Maybe that Sigma who's on the point by himself right now is a worthy pick.
Very nice pick for the Brawl. Unfortunately, it's not a team-wide thing. Very split are the Drexel team to Brawl and get taken out. They do manage to get a few picks, those tanks up front, but they're all alone. Oh, and a huge
What
bomb
is
from
happening?
Garfield.
It is so split evenly, but
A very
Phantom
split team
Pain
fight.
and Primax are the last two survivors, and they managed to get away.
Hard to even cast that team fight because of how split everybody was during that, but in those messy, sloppy team fights, if you don't have the discipline as Brawl, you're going to end up losing the fight. You have to have a little bit of that, have to have a little bit of discipline. And I like where Zaya was moving. I think he was correct to try and rush on that Sigma, but his team was not really behind him in a powerful enough way to try and seal the deal on it. So they ended up losing the fight. I'm going to use the bathroom spot if you can take over for me for a minute.
Alrighty.
5, 4,
We're still going to be seeing some more Wrecking Ball on the side of BSU. I am a big fan of Wrecking Ball on this map. You know, maps like King of the Hill are perfectly symmetrical. From the God Cam bird's eye view in the sky, you can see each side is identical, which is a map where Wrecking Ball can really reign supreme with some good grapples. But on the side of Drexel, they're going to run Zombie, which is also a very known comp to play on this map. Tracer, Reaper, Winston, Diva, you know, very good at getting onto a target and confirming the kill. Just like they do in that Zenyatta right there, took the words right out of my mouth. And Barry takes out both supports really early on. This is looking like an easy team wipe for Drexel before the point can even unlock. Barry being able to play as a comfort character, Reaper, absolutely demolishing the two supports on the side of BSU, turning the point over early. The ult economy on this side of BSU is rather small, but Dark Swag does have a minefield already. Wrecking Ball being able to get so much ult charge from rolling through and slamming targets. And Zumi is still behind on beat, but that could be made up for Unwritten's coalescence that she is about to have. Drexel's diving in right now, getting some picks as Dark Swag's coming in from the behind, thinking that the fight wasn't going to be taken to their spawn door. And Zaya and Hayes just destroyed in their backline.
Wow, a little zombie on the side of Drexel, huh? I'm sure you already called that one out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Barry being able to play his comfort character is huge here. Absolutely destroying the supports on the side of BSU so early on, before the point can even unlock. They team wiped BSU before they could even get a percent tick on the point.
A lot of ults on either side here. 60% on the side of Drexel here on the point. Twerp gonna get taken out immediately. I honestly feel like this might be one of Drexel's best compositions. It really plays to the strength of a lot of their players. So if I were to recommend them anything, I'd probably recommend them to play this composition more.
Kind of an interesting minefield from Dark Swag, opting to not put it on the point. Barry does get stunned, but he does manage to get the main support. And this is going to be looking like a possible 100-0 on the side of Drexel. Almost played perfectly on the zombie comp.
Ooh, Barry gonna get taken out by that turret. Ball does have a touch here.
Yeah, as I say that, Drexel looks like they got a little too overconfident and happy that they're dominating this point, and they pushed up to their spawn.
Unwritten going to be the only one caught in that flux, but the beat coming out anyway. Not even going to let 1 ounce of damage come through from that flux. A rally coming in, going to make it a little bit harder to try and get these final picks here. Longer stall means a winnable team fight here for BSU. But I'm not sure how they're going to manage to pull together with the ult that they've got. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Cassius and Mafara trying to come back, trying to get a little bit more poke damage against this zombie comp. Ooh, but Dark Swag off the point for just a little too long, and 100-0 for Drexel.
Yeah, that was perfectly played by Drexel. They dove onto targets, Barry and Zaya, as well as Hayes on the Tracer, instantly, in the blink of an eye, taking out the supports and taking out any other, you know, players that they dove onto.
Or a comp that I'd like to see Drexel on more. I think they play it pretty well. Really plays to a lot of their individual strengths, and they're able to coordinate it a lot more than what we've seen previously with their brawl. So to be honest, I think they should stick with it. We are going to see their brawl. Pretty classic choice here on the mecha base of Busan. We're going to see how it works. We might be seeing a Hayes Hanzo rather than the Mei. Might make things a little bit harder, to be honest, without having the ability to take that space with the Mei wall, but I guess we're going to see how they manage to play it here.
Yeah, we've been seeing Drexel kind of struggle just a little bit with their rush comps. when their opponents happen to have a Mei on their team. I'm surprised they haven't opted to pick one for themselves to try to get some wall offs or just build a wall to make some space for them to, engage.
I suppose we will see how they manage to approach this. Comboing the Barry Reaper with the Haze Hanzo, a little awkward. Sort of conflicting objectives there with the hero picks, but we're going to see how they make it work in a few short seconds. See that Maywall come out hopefully from the side of BSU quickly here. Almost catches Zaya, but not quite. The Immortality, pretty much by instinct, going to come out from both Baptistes. Drexel going to get taken out anyways. Zaya, they trade main tanks, but Cashless getting taken out, going to give Drexel the advantage here.
This is where Reaper shines, Reaper is able to, focus down some targets that are by themselves. And since the main tank on the side of BSU fell, Barry was able to just go in and go ham on, those squishies.
Only a spot Reaper enjoys being in, just managing to clean up everybody with those shotguns. Gonna take that fight. They're gonna be going up top again. That Maywall gonna help them sort of take a little bit of space again just by walking out. Get Zaya walled off there. He's gonna need to move right side. The huge dragon though from Haze going to split the team a little bit and give them a little space, but the window as well as a fire strike come in, take Zaya out. And Drexel gonna need to perform some shenanigans here. Try and take this team fight back. Nice Maywall on the side of Lupine manages to catch him written out, and a nice little right click to come out and also catch Barry out. They should be staggering this point here, stalling to the best of their ability if they can. Looks like Zumi is doing exactly that before getting taken out. So managed to get roughly 40% here on this point before BSU taking it back. A lot of ultimates on the side of both teams here. Oh, a nice Maywall going to catch Zaya out. A shatter attempted, not successful. More successful shatter on the side of Darkspike here, but not going to catch anything. Barry in the middle of the enemy team trying to take people out, and he does manage to
get the main tank.
Swag. Not enough DM on the side of Fan, just paying to eat that whole Reaper roll. The response Reaper roll going to catch both DPS. Cashless doing his best to wing his team this fight. No main tank, however, on the side. Nice window to try and deter any push from Zaya. Can't say I would have recommended that pin. With a little more coordination, perhaps that could have been a winnable fight for Drexel, but sort of broken down after losing a few, and just going to have to opt to reset here with what little they have left.
Yeah, if they're playing more together there, Garfield could have been there to, eat up that Death Blossom, which would have helped them not lose 2 targets.
I'm going to eke in through that Maywall, a nice squish onto Zaya. We've seen a few of those now. Very quick team fight, to be honest. Might be something that Drexel wanted to see. Prolonged team fight there would have spelled a last fight territory here. It might be anyway, but we're going to need to see some massive Diva Bomb action here from Garfield or some huge flanking from Barry. Try and seal the deal in the team fight. They're going to opt to move right side away from the main choke, and Maywall not going to mean too much in the grand scheme of things.
Darkspike's coming up on his Shadow Heroes and see if it's going to be big.
Zaya unfortunately getting taken out pretty early. Shatter going to come down here, locking that Diva Bomb to ensure nothing happens. Darkspike going to get taken out by Barry, pushing up really hard into that Ryan's face. It's really hard to deal with that when you're on the side of Ryan. And another eat from Garfield. Good stuff from Garfield fight. Looking like a very one fight here for Drexel. Be amazed if they manage to bring it back. This little barrier's down. Primax not going to have anything to spin off of. Well done by Drexel for taking that back, only using a Diva Bomb.
I have to give props to Lupine, to Garfield. Sorry, if I was Lupine by now, I would be ticked off at how many freezes. Garfield has eaten, I believe, 4 across the span of 2 maps.
Oh yeah, I'd be turbo mauled if I threw 4 blizzards into a Diva's gaping maw. That would be pretty sad. That being said, there are a lot of ultimates here going to come out from both teams simultaneously, but it's looking like Drexel is going to have the advantage in these ultimate trading sessions.
So just used
VSU
every
gonna
single
be reset here.
ultimate, except for Garfield Pipe and Unwritten's Window. Actually, both teams using all of their ultimates. This is going to be a dry fight for the final fight. Possibly, you know, maybe an ult or two coming in, maybe from Lupine and Phantom, as well as
Not a whole lot
Garfield
done
and
here.
Unwritten. But
Nice wall, gonna keep Saya from doing much of anything here. The Immortality going to save him for the meantime, but gonna get frozen and taken out. Gonna have to win this fight without him. But Darkspike, as I said, they're getting traded.
no main
Around
tanks.
on either side. This is where Reaper shines, and I know Barry does really well in these situations. Garfield taking out Jeff Rank with his Diva Bomb. Really well done, and Barry winning that Reaper 1v1. That boop into the Diva Bomb not going to catch Unwritten quite out. The window proving very powerful. Not a whole lot that BSU can do. This one likely going in the favor of Drexel too.
That's very well done.
Very well done. A lot of, I gotta say, Drexel does like those sloppy, a lot of fights all at once, or a lot of ults all at once sort of style of play. They thrive in those scenarios. We've got a Reaper ult coming for our replay here, likely on the side of Barry. Had a few good ones. Yep, there it is. Right from behind him. Not quite enough DM to deal with it. And he'll just reside behind here and get enough value to easily seal that team fight.
That was a really big battle of the ultimates there. Both Reapers popping ult, both Reinhardt's popping ult, and a Dragon beat committing everything just to be able to win that fight and take it into final fight territory.
Well played. Well played by Drexel. A lot of fundamentals that they showed off there to win that with little to no ultimate usage. As we see this defense, we've got pretty classic rig on a classic dive here with the Ashe. See this a lot. However, might be seeing that Winston ball configuration again for BSU. Again, not something I entirely agree with the Diva. Really valuable in these dive scenarios, but that massive amount of cleave means that the Brig might just not be enough to defend from a well enough coordinated dive.
Yeah, Drexel has Diva and they have Brigitte, which can, both characters, you know, can completely stop the tank's engages. Ball can grapple in and get whip shot away. Monkey can dive in and get booped away by Diva's thrusters. Overall, I think Diva actually might just be the better pick here for the counter dive.
Oh yeah. I think Diva would be the better pick for the dive, to be perfectly honest, but also having a pocket on that Echo really weakens their Ana. So just all it takes is a little bit of recognition on the side of Drexel to see, oh hey, Ana has absolutely no line of defense. This is a super offensively based comp from BSU, and if Drexel can realize that, all they have to do is make sure that Jeff Rank cannot play the game. Make it a 5v6 every single fight.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Moving up. Escort the payload.
A little bit of pokey interaction here. We're not going to be seeing the standard taking of the bridge there. Oh, there we go. Ball going up the staircase, trying to get a little bit of disruption here before running through the server. We're going to need to see him rotate up and manage to get a slam on them while the monkey is tasing for them to really get the value here. And there he goes, he's spinning his hardest. Nice slam only onto Hayes, not a whole lot done there. The cart progress is going down, but not really a whole lot being done here on the side of BSU to try and seal the deal in this fight. Similar Ana ult charges here. I have to give this advantage here to Drexel too, and as I say that, Monkey gonna get taken down. It's one of those downsides, is you really don't have people in position to really help your tanks when you're running these super aggressive compositions. Ana all the way back through main. Nowhere in sight to try and help her team. And Drexel really have this one in the bag if they continue to counter dive as they've been doing. We do have a nano on both sides coming up. Nice slam on the side of Darkswag, going to give him mines very quickly. I'll be looking for a nano in response to a little bit of a dive, maybe a counter dive onto that monkey in the ball. Duplicate coming out from the side of Lupine, going to try and get some value, but not going to get much Barry. Nice shots. Bob going to come out from Barry before he gets taken out. This is a winnable fight for either side at this point. We're going to need to see some ultimates flown either way in order to really confirm this. Zumi going to take out Lupine, but Cash is getting rezzed. Oh, good nano. Going to come out and do a lot of damage for that monkey. The Primal going to come out for Zaya. Really, again, another sloppy fight going to come out here, but in the end, it's likely going to be VSU taking this first point.
Yeah, you know, Drexel was down a man or two, but it was definitely a winnable fight. You know, both teams got to walk equidistant back to get back to the point, but they just played it the incorrect way. But now that respawns are coming back, it's possible for Drexel. Zumi popping her rally.
That rally is absolutely huge for Sustain right now, and that's a huge ante on the side of Drexel. Really well done by the supports here in this fight. Got to give props to Unwritten and Zumi. Really making the dream work there. They're gonna get taken out, but might not be enough. Another Valve from Primax. That's the second one in a minute and a half. It's pretty quick. As I said, another huge ante coming out from the side of Unwritten here. Gonna get some value. Lupine in a pretty powerful position, and Unwritten gonna get taken out by the Tracer from behind. It's looking harder and harder for Drexel to take back, but they've wasted quite a bit of time in what I thought was going to be a lost fight. And a Bob going to come out from the side of Barry. Not going to get a whole lot of value. It's going to cover just the cart and not much else. Nano on the side of BSU. Bomb coming out from Garfield, but it's not going to catch much. It's going to land right into some mines, and all it's going to end up in is a captured point for BSU.
Alright, Rick, before too much shenanigans starts happening, I gotta head out. You know, duty calls for work.
Alright, well, good luck to you. Thank you.
Good luck with the
here.
rest of the scrim.
Good luck at work. Alright, as we continue on here, we've got ultimates on the side of both teams, but we've got a lot more. Hayes going to get taken out by that slam, unfortunately. Really, a lot of damage there. The damage boost putting in a lot of work to help confirm that. It's kind of hard to outplay that, to be honest, for Tracer, other than just not being in the center of your team. Echo opting to duplicate the Ana. Don't know how much more sustain we really needed on the side of BSU, but evidently more, because BSU's actual Ana gets taken out. The Red's going to come off. Nice slam, Unwritten antied, gonna get taken out. It's looking like BSU might manage to free push this entire second point if Drexel 2 doesn't manage to sack up and get something happening. As I say that, Zaya and Garfield, 2 huge picks on both supports, come back and manage to make it work. Only an Echo and a ball left for the side of BSU, and it's not gonna work out. Well done, Drexel, managing to come back and clap back. Now we've got a Pulse Bomb on the side of Cassius. We've got a Bob for Barry. We've got a Nano for Unwritten here. I'm expecting a quick, I'm hoping at least, for a quick Nano engage for the Zaya here to try and counter whatever dive they have with supports. And then a Bob if things manage to go south at that point. We're going to see what happens here. Swag with the mines, able to make a little bit happen on the card here. Barry going to pop that Bob a little bit early on the cart to try and ensure that nobody gets to touch, but Zay going to get taken out early. No nano for him. Mine's going to come out on the supports. Not going to catch anybody. Lupine getting rezzed. The Pulse Bomb coming out from Cashless. Not going to catch anybody. Lupine does get a huge pick onto Barry. It's exactly how you need to play Echo if you're going to, on this point. You got to use that map architecture to try and surprise the hit scans. Zumi, the last one on the payload, probably going to get taken out. There she goes, gets right in, but Zaya managed to catch 2, and a lot of powerful Nano Monkey shenanigans going to happen on the cart now. Zaya might manage to guard his ultimate in the time for this nano to run out. Unwritten gonna get taken out though. Not a whole lot of sustain, but too many picks for the side. Ooh, almost getting off the cart. This is a losable fight for both sides here. But I have to give the spawn advantage to Drexel here. Not a whole lot that can be done here on the side of Dark Swag. Gonna get stunned. No anti coming in, but are going to have one last touch, I believe. There is for Lupine. Dark Swag gonna get taken out by Haze, doing the job as Tracer. Mercy gonna come in and try and touch, but Zaya Prime Link trying to ensure that she can't touch. Not gonna happen. A res gonna come out, actually going off. Lupine is back. Lupine might manage to grind his ultimate, actually. Garfield with a huge bomb here. Going to catch Lupine out. That duplicate not going to happen. A Primal going to make things a lot harder for Drexel to try and clean up here, but that rally is going to give him a lot more sustain. The Mercy trying to take Zumi out in the top there, but a nice sleep coming out. And that Mercy going to have to retreat. Slower and slower this team fight moves, but there goes the overtime bar, and just too long off their cart spells trouble for BSU. Wow, that second point really is difficult to take, I'll be honest. You really have to have a good knowledge of how to attack that second point. You really have to take that spaceship, you have to take those high grounds, you have to get your supports into position, and it's really, really difficult to do that when you don't have that Brig on your side, when you don't have the protector for Ana. It's hard to get that Ana in a position where she can effectively support the team. Drexel played on that pretty well, and their counter dive was good enough to stifle BSU before they managed to cap second. So we're going to see what happens here as we get ready for Drexel's turn to attack. Sorry about that. Looking for some standard stuff here. Likely going to see that Brig on the side of Primax going to be really helpful in stopping the initial dive. The win condition for this comp really on both sides, this normal dive that we're seeing out of both, is to grind that nano. Really, it's the win condition of the fight. Really, you can't dedicate yourself too hard unless you manage to get that off pick with a flanker. It's hard to dedicate yourself to actually getting a pick without that nano as Monkey. Which is probably why BSU opts to run the ball with the Monkey. It could be because they don't have an off tank to play Diva, but I think the more likely scenario is that they think that running the ball along with a flanker or two is enough kill confirm. If they have a coordinated enough dive where you don't even need to grind that nano, you can just win fights without having to spend the time. But unfortunately, it doesn't really work out for him in the end. Brigitte is a very strong character. I think it would be hard for me to overstate how strong of an impact Brigitte has on the day-to-day interactions in Overwatch. They say that might get a double bubble comp here from the side of BSU. Typically you would see that on the offense. It's a little atypical to see it on the defense, but we're going to see how that'll work. I'm excited to see. Bit of interaction here and there, not a whole lot happening. The bridge control looking to go on Drexel's favor here. Push up there. Barry is actually on the Reaper, something I didn't notice. Again, that's something you typically see on the defense here. It's kind of hard to approach as Reaper on the offense here. Unwritten left all alone. Zumi got taken out early by Lupine, and not a whole lot that Unwritten can do to sort of get out of this situation. Except for a lack of coordination on the side of BSU. Hayes going to get taken out, but Unwritten still remains alive, and the peel was there. Barry going to still remain on cart to push. Hopefully he has the teleport to get out of there, otherwise it'd be a little hard. He uses his fade to get to the Mega. Not a whole lot of help down there, though, so I would be amazed if he managed to escape with his life, and there he goes. Really split gameplay here. They really need to group up and play together and play their win condition, right? They're working on that nano now. They're going to have it soon. Dark Spike coming up on his primal Zaya, 66% to it. That nano going to come in soon, and Barry's going to be back for that nano engage when they finally opt to use it. Lupine rather, flanking through with that pulse bomb. anticipating when he's going to use. He's coming under the stairs now. Might come out soon. See it be on the Brigida. Almost. Just seen it. Not a whole lot of engaging going on. Nano on both sides. We've got a Pulse Bomb on both sides. We've got a Primal on the side of Zaya. Dark Swag, no Primal present. All we need right now is really just a Drexel engage. That's all it is. We've spent 2 minutes effectively just taking the high ground here. There's the Nano engage. Bear gonna get taken out by Jeff Frank immediately. A rally coming out on the side of Primax. And that slow-paced gameplay is really gonna bite Drexel if they don't manage to pull things back here. Rally gonna come out from Zumi, but Unwritten and Zaya gonna get taken out immediately. Hayes managing to trade Anas, but it's probably not gonna be enough unless Drexel manages to make something really interesting happen. Monkey getting taken out here, but the grab really gonna seal the deal here. Really need to speed things up here if I'm Drexel Team 2's coach. Really looking to get these engages going faster, looking to get that Nano faster. They probably could have built another Nano in the time it took for that engage to actually happen. Now we've got Zaya and Unwritten down to the cart. Barry here on a little bit of an excursion up top here. If he doesn't join his team, I would be a little surprised, but you see a lot of split gameplay right now. You see how split this team is. It's going to be their downfall. Hayes taking a 1v1 with Lupine. Barry on the cart, trying to have the TP up to the supports and not going to get much. Now he's entirely behind them. Garfield sending a bomb up to the supports, but to no avail. Oh, he's already getting slept and executed by Barry. So split, this team fight. This Bob is going to deter any push from Drexel for the time being, but Barry going to ult Jeff Frank, going to get taken out by the Ashe. Again, just a lot of sloppy gameplay here. Unwritten taking out Primax here. I don't even know who could win this team fight right now. I don't know. They're going to try and get a pick on that Dark Swag character. It's going to happen. Monkey going to go down. Hayes doing as much damage as that Zarya. Zay jumping in to try and clean him up. Probably going to see a pick onto the Zarya. There she goes. Pashless is going to be one of the last lines of defense here. Dynamite gets eaten and no touch on the side of BSU. A lot of sloppy stuff. Hayes with a nice Pulse Bomb on a Primax. Well done. Gonna get another pick. Hayes, both supports, now gone. Tracer a little too far in. Lupine a little far. Gonna get caught out here. Ashe on the top of that airplane. That's really where I'm looking for Drexel 2 to stage right now. If I were coaching them, I'd tell them to sit up there. It's perhaps the most powerful spot on any map ever, really. Really strong, really important for teams to take that spaceship in order to win team fights. It's exactly what they did. The rally going to come out, a little bit of dynamite damage going to get a little bit negated from that rally. I mean, what are you going to do? Rally is just an incredibly strong ability, and Nano going to come through onto Dark Swag. Primax getting a pick on Barry. Very interesting. Zumi deciding to pop that rally to try and protect her support. I'm definitely a fan of that. Dark Swag feeding a little bit. Little far in here. The Zarya not really working out too well, but manages to be enough to stifle the push here. Like I said, taking that airplane is really powerful. Zaya opting to use his Primal now. I don't know how much I agree with it, but it's certainly a winnable fight, so we're going to see how it ends up. Left Monkey in the back line, but he's going to come out to Primal. Hayes is going to get taken out, and Zaya and Primal just doesn't do enough damage by himself to really make it worthwhile. It's not one of those ultimates you can solo carry with. You need your teammates behind you. As I said that, same thing happens to Dark Spike. It's taken out by Zumi. Again, you need your team's follow-up there if you're going to be using Primal, and neither Monkey was really doing that. Just sort of using it to keep themselves alive, but they stayed in far too long, and both Monkeys got taken out for it. I'm going to be looking for a little bit of spaceship control here. That's definitely something I'd prefer, and there it is. Zaya going up top there. Garfield going to need to follow him if you're going to want to maintain that control. I'd like Barry to be up there as well. There comes the Bob to run directly into that Brig who's going to bash it. Zaya has to back up. The Brig going to get taken down. A response Bob, but sorry, going to get taken out as she grabs. The grab not going to lead to much. A lot of damage coming out from the side of Drexel too. This is looking more and more unwinnable for BSU as we go, but a huge Nano coming in from Unwritten is going to make the seem all but lost for BSU. One more pick onto that Brigida, and this fight is effectively wraps, and there it goes. Rally wasted on the side of Primax. D.Va gonna get cleaned up here very quickly. Hayes winning his 1v1 with Lupine in the back line. Drexel 2 is going to take the second point. Well done. We've got a Nano online on the side of Jeff Frank. We've got a Primal and a Bomb. We've got a Rally on the side of Zumi. This is looking difficult. Lupine opting to swap for the Cassidy here on this final point. Not something I entirely disagree with. Hayes trying to chase that soldier down, but it's not going to lead to much. D.Va scouting a little bit on that right side, not going to find much here. Going to be watching here. We're going to see what happens, how they play this engage. If I were them, I would just go with that Rally armor now. The earlier you use ultimates, the more likely you are to win the fight with them. Zaya primaling now, trying to avoid getting murdered because he was antied. Going to try and push that monkey a little bit out of position here. Wow, Barry with another Bob going to come out. Use that to win the last team fight. And there it is again. Not my favorite Bob. It doesn't cover too much in terms of sight line, but Hayes does manage to take out Zarya, and Lupine going to take it out by Zaya. Soldier behind going to get dove on by both tanks, and Hayes ready to clean it up. Zumi a little bit far forward for my taste as well with Unwritten, but the Rally is there, so it doesn't matter. Darkseid going to need a Primal to keep this fight alive. Darkseid trying to push Barry off of that high ground. It's not going to end up in any kills of some sort, but it's certainly a winnable fight for BSU. As I say that, Hayes going to get taken out by Zarya. Phantom Pain putting in work, killing Zumi as well. The High Noon coming in, but going to get taken down immediately on the side of Garfield. Zumi, or rather Unwritten, doing a little bit of teabagging before getting taken out there. Almost capturing third point, Drexel 2, but not quite. BSU showing up. Make sure that that does not happen. Well done. Well done on both sides. I would have liked to see a little bit more preference towards taking that, taking the spaceship. It really is that important. If you manage to take that high ground, you manage to take the spaceship, then you have control over the entirety of that second point. And at the end of the day, neither team really did it to a very high degree, but I must say Drexel just had slightly better ultimate usage there. So they managed to take that second point. I want to see a little bit of action on Blizzard World here. Interesting. What will likely be the final map of this evening. Maybe opting for the double shield is Drexel 2. Maybe we're going to see some Brawl, which they likely will immediately swap if it doesn't work out. Trying to play against double shield. We're going to see some other picks here. We got a few snipers on the side of Drexel 2. I'm excited. I like Blizzard World as a map. I think it's pretty dynamic. It's relatively varied in the playstyle as well. You can play a fair few compositions here with decent success. So we will see what happens.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
I'm gonna get this started here. Double shield on, opting for the side. We're going to see a Somber Reaper Brawl for the side of BSU. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting stuff. Somber actually can dismantle double shield pretty well, and the Reaper does provide that damage up front. So I don't actually hate it too much. I think it could work pretty well. Zumi in danger with that Sombra at present, playing that Zenyatta character, but all you got to do is play the double shield properly, rotate away from where the brawl is coming, and you'll get the value. Sombra going to be decloaking from Zumi. Zumi getting hacked there. Not the most influential hack target, but the Reaper opting to go and chase Zumi down. Walking out of the Immortality is Zumi. Immortality getting taken down from Jeff Rank and Hayes, taking out Cashless. Try and trade. Garfield getting taken out by the Sombra. Pretty split again. I really got to stress how important it is to stay grouped up, to stay coordinated when you are playing at this team level. Ooh, nice shot from Hayes. Might save his life to try and get rid of that Sombra. The body shot scaring her off. Dynamite maybe a little bit far from Barry, but the Bob already coming through, going to anchor that point, allow his team to get a full recontest here. Already melting that thing down. They can give a tick here if they need to. There it is. And comes the double shoot with the window. That window very powerful in deterring any sort of push. They can have a nice bash on the side of Zumi. Going to confirm the kill onto Cashless's Reaper. And they need to go hard now. They just need to rush in here, because otherwise stuff like that is gonna happen. They're gonna die very, very slowly. 2 minutes already passed here. A tick of progress to show for it for the side of BSU. Playing rush into double shield, at least on this map, is not the worst thing in the world. But you need to be very disciplined and play it very fast when you're up against this kind of double shield. And Sombra really helps to do that. She helps to dismantle the front line and allow her team to push. But so far, we're seeing a lot of sort of Tracer with extra steps gameplay here. The EMP is online, but after 2.5 minutes almost, it might be too late. I'd like to see that EMP come out quick. Perhaps now. A Flux coming out inside of Garfield. Might see that EMP'd, and it does get EMP'd. Well done, well timed. Good job on the side of Lupine there. Recognized that situation. Another Bob on the side of Barry. The beat going to be committed by D-Man, but a Dragon coming in. Lupine going to get picked off. Not going to get any of that beat. Barry, Bob going to put in some work, but the Shatter combination with that window going to be too powerful for Drexel to maintain. Barring a miracle, BSU going to be taking the first point. Like I said, that EMP is very strong. The utility that you get to try and execute against that double shield comp when you're playing Brawl it's pretty strong. But you have to play it properly. You have to farm that EMP as fast as you can to try and get any value, instead of playing that, go invisible, walk around half the map, and try and get a pick on a squishy sort of Tracer style. That Brawl going to be going all the way across that high ground, ensuring that the double shield don't get set up at all on that high ground. I like that a lot. They can't sort of sustain up here for very long with that double shield. But a pick would have been huge. Cashless, as I say that, making it happen. Going to be TPing out, going to make sure he doesn't get picked off. They get pushed by that signal, but he's not going to die. The window going to be coming out from Unwritten there, but it's not going to perform much. Not going to get much value, especially when it's behind the entire enemy team. The shatter from the top rope from J-Dot getting immediately denied. Rocked in the face. Hayes going to take out Jeff Rank. A Bob that I'm not necessarily sure if they need going to be coming out Barry to super seal the deal on this team fight here. Hayes now on the Cassidy, opting to try and counter what I have to only assume is both the Reaper and the Sombra. But we'll see how much value that managed to get. We've got Zumi's Rally online, as well as Garfield's Flux and Zaya's Bongo. We've got a beat and a window on the side of BSU. Not super heavy combo potential here, but an early Bongo could spell trouble for BSU. It comes out. Flux, same answer. I'm looking for that immediately, and there it is. That beat gonna need to come out now, and it doesn't. I'm not sure why the beat didn't come out from the side of D-Man. That would have been a pretty good opportunity for them to stay alive during that Flux, but I guess they're saving it for an aggressive engage. That would be my guess. I really would like to see that beat to come and save his team from death, but perhaps there was a call on their side to save it for the next fight, and I'm perfectly okay with that. We've got a Sombra going behind at 89%. Like I said, you really need to charge your ult fast if you're playing Sombra, especially against that double shield, to try get some utility, take them down. But she's going to struggle a little bit, to be honest, against Cass and Brig there. 99 to her ultimate, she can translocate out, and I have to assume that is how they're going to initiate on this fight. To counteract that, I'm looking for a lot of early ultimates here. Zaya could Bongo now to get that value. I'm going to see a rally out of Zumi here, a window coming out. The EMP, there it is. Like I said, the early ultimates win the team fights. And in this instance, it was BSU that threw him out. However, not enough follow-up. Trying to play the cart instead, you really have to seal the deal in the team fight if you're playing Brawl. You can't just play the objective, because stuff like this will just happen. That Bongo mixed with the Bob, going to get a lot of value. And because of BSU's opting to play the objective rather than clean up the team fight, they allowed the characters who still had their ultimates online to use them and take the fight back. That's exactly what happened, and now they're in stall territory. Lupine opting for a Genji for a faster contest. Not sure how much I like that. We are going to see Ryan pin, so we are going to get another team fight here. Unwritten a little close for my taste, but Shatter going to come out, but Jada going to get taken out immediately. Hayes with the ult going to be taking out Lucio. That Diva Bomb from the side of Phantom Pain, not going to do much. Hayes going to get taken out by the Ashe, but not a whole lot else. Flux really just coming in to seal the deal. Not a whole lot that BSU can do to turn this one. And there it is. About halfway through second point. Gets BSU's capture progress.
Score
I gotta say,
0-1.
we've got a Sigma ultimate here on the side of Drexel too. Garfield I gotta say, Garfield is playing very well in this scrim. Yeah, here's where the lack of beat happened. I don't understand why the beat wouldn't come out there. That's typically, it's generally one of the more classic interactions that you have. But I suppose there was a call or some reason behind why they decided to save it. And here we are, with Drexel needing to push only through about halfway through second in order to match the progress that BSU just got on them, on their attack. I'm seeing a little bit of a dive, perhaps, from the side of Drexel with an Ashe Zen backline. I'm not sure how much of a fan I am. I think I'd prefer a Mercy to be pocketing Barry if we're going to be playing. And maybe a double bubble is certainly possible here. I don't know how much classic dive is going to get done here, especially against the double shield. Monkey sort of has a lot of struggles against that style, but this level, it really is just all about how you play these characters. Team composition matters a lot less when people are playing their characters a lot better than you are. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. We might be seeing the double shield coming out. In fact, I'm willing to say we're definitely seeing the double shield going to come out on the side of BSU to try and hold them. The brawl not working out super well for their attack, so I understand the opt for the double shield Junkrat Ashe Mercy Pocket. I think that could be a very powerful combo. The Zenyatta will provide value to the flanker, but if any of BSU sort of wises up to the antics of the weak backline that Drexel has, could really spell danger. To see how they manage to play it.
I'm calling a shot.
Seeing a little bit of staging here from Barry. Not going to be able to stay up there for long. His tanks are going to have to walk up there. Opting to walk up there, and Zumi already not quite in position. Barry might get taken out here as well. There he goes. Yeah, a lot of out of position gaming here. Don't know what Garfield thinks he's doing here. Just feeding like half of his mech Volt Charge. They are farming that Nano, which I think is all but necessary here to try and engage. Garfield going to try and escort his supports back so they don't get picked off. Good eat, try not to get pulled there. Have to try and escort them all backward. Try and take that high ground as best they can. They're all staging up top there. You can see they need to wrap around and dive that high ground immediately. Dive does struggle a little bit on this point. It's sort of hard to stage here because you have to dive from a pretty open position. And here it comes. There's the Nano engage on from Zaya. Immortality going to come out, but he's going to get picked off anyway. The dive very strong here. Zaya going to jump on all of them. That's just going to be a lot of cleave damage out from Zaya. Barry's Ashe going to be shooting range here. Oh, but getting taken out. Nice shots from Cashless, but it's not going to be enough. Winning that duel, not enough. Oh, Garfield getting Junkrat trapped. One of my favorite abilities in the game, to be honest, folks. Really enjoy getting Junkrat trapped randomly. An ability that you can barely see. that's in the ground. But regardless, Drexel making relatively quick work, farming that nano very fast, almost taking my advice that I gave them from Gibraltar. I thought that was pretty quick and well utilized. They're farming that nano again. They're already at 44%. Zay can take a little bit more damage. They can feed a little bit more, and they'll have another nano in no time. Heart Progress going to be pushing. Double shield of BSU going to be opting to play around the middle of that high ground there. Very important place, to be honest. Barry, again, it's going to struggle to win those duels. I'd like to see Barry not quite engaging too hard on those duels. Zaya jumping very far in. He's got the primal to keep himself alive, but he needs to play with his team using that primal if he's going to get value. Jay not going to get picked off from Garfield. The Tire going to be coming out on the side of Lupine. Not going to get anything. Jeff Frank getting res. Cashless going to be taken out. Hayes going to be taken out, but a lot of picks here for the side of Drexel. Taking that M-War out. Zaya taking Jeff Frank out. Just going to wipe the rest of the cart. And Drexel's got this all but in the bag. There is the cart progress, and all the rest here really is just gravy at this point. They've already taken as much progress as BSU. But we're going to see how BSU opts to play the second point here. They're a little bit split. I don't know how much I enjoy that Bob from Barry. It's going to get very little value. Hayes going to be taken out with a nice headshot from Cashless. Barry trying his best to recreate that scenario with Lupine, and there it is. Well done, Barry. Lux, Zaya feeding a little bit. Zumi going to opt to use her Transcendence. A lot of ultimates being used here when, in my opinion, they really don't need to be. But a nice bomb going to be taking out a lot of utility and D-Man. If they walk past this barrier, Zumi might get taken out here by the Orisa. There she goes, but a lot of value up front with that dive. Tracer going to be on the back of the cart, hoping Unwritten is calling this, trying to get some help. There Zaya is interrupting this little Lupine party, and Lupine just going to opt to jump off the map there. Yeah, BSU really going to have to pull things together here with this 4 minutes left on the third point defense. Val coming out from D-Man, healing up her team. Let's see what happens here with the nanoed Zaya in their backline. The Nano Monkey going to get a lot of value. The res coming after Cassius are going to get taken out. No immortality on the side of Jeff Frank here, and the mech of Phantom going to get taken out. The Bob coming out on the side of BSU. Very well placed. It's antied. It looks like it's going to get melted, though. It's not. They don't manage to do it. Unwritten gets taken out. They don't have a main support now. Or a flex support, depending on which way you happen to bend on that argument. Regardless, their large amount of healing is now gone, and Drexel is going to need to back off. So we're going to get taken out. A little bit of a stagger there, but that's okay. Barry going to need some help to not get staggered here if their ball decides to push forward a little bit. There he is. And Garfield is there to ensure that Barry does not get staggered. We've got Barry's Bob. We've got Lupine's Pulse Bomb and Jeff Frank's Window to look forward to in this team fight. Nice TNT going to execute Cashless almost instantly. The res not coming out. The attempt a little awkward right in Drexel's team. That's already 3 up for Drexel. The Bob actually very nice here from Barry. Going to mark that cart and ensure that BSU doesn't even get another touch. Really, really well played on the side of Drexel there on the attack. I really liked how they committed their dives. Really like how they were charging their nano. They played that, in my opinion, a lot better than their Gibraltar. If they managed to replicate that throughout all the maps, they could go real far playing that team composition. Going to see if any of them are going to opt for an interview. I'd like to see at least one of them coming in to the server for a quick talk. Got a replay here from Barry, probably on that third point. Yep, really impressive gameplay here. Did a lot. I gotta say, a lot of Barry's Bobs were not really to my liking, but really cleaning up here. That Bob really covering the cart, doing its job, and just a day in the Kovacs for Barry here. Managing to walk forward and clean up almost the entirety of BSU. Really well done. And again, really well played by all of them on that attack. Still waiting on our interviewee here. I'm going to invite at least one of them to have a little talk. I think our interviewee will be Garfield. Hopefully he will be in the chat soon. I've got a few questions about how they plan it because Garfield played incredibly well. Hello, Garfield.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. That was a fun scrim to watch.
Fun scrim to play.
Yeah. So I've got a few questions for you, if you don't mind. So my first is, what is the thought process behind your guys' dive there? Because I noticed a lot of the nano farming there. What you were playing it on Gibraltar and on Blizzard
World,
World.
yeah. Yeah, it was definitely our big goal was to just farm nano and engage with that because we've known from previous experiences that things don't go well if we don't engage first fight without an ult advantage of some sort. And so it was a lot of just building up nanos and then ult cycling from there. It was funny actually on the second point. Me and my main tank were just staring at the other team, and they just weren't shooting us because they realized at that point that we were just farming nanos.
Right. Yeah.
So that was funny. But yeah, no, definitely farming nano was objective number one for that comp.
Right, I agree. I thought you guys did a much better job of it on Blizzard World, to be honest, than on Gibraltar. A little bit of a split push, to be honest. Do you guys have those the comms locked down? It felt like your team play, at least looking at the past scrims to now, sort of improved. Do you have more dedication in the shot calling department, or is it just more individual improvement?
It's definitely a lot of just individuals stepping up and just making calls. Like our backline saying if someone's on them, they need help. Calling that out. We're getting better at calling macro rotations because we're doing more and we're learning what works and what doesn't. We're getting more comfortable with the maps too. We Gibraltar and like Blizzard World are two maps that we try to get extra time on just because we know we're not as strong on those as we could be. And so yeah, it's just a matter of getting more reps in and learning what's best to do for each map.
Right. My last question. How do you manage to find yourself in the proper spot to eat that May ult every time? I think I counted 4 separate times where their May just sort of threw her Blizzard into your gaping maw. I mean, 3 times on King Zero alone.
Yeah,
That's
it's a bit of an
pretty
art form,
impressive.
but I've gotten pretty good at it because you can kind of tell tendencies when May players want to throw it. Like sometimes I'll try to throw the wall up in front of you so they can throw it at their feet. That one's a pretty easy tell. But then a lot of it's just staring at the May the entire fight because when they have that Blizzard, most of the time they are the most important thing for you to put your attention on. And so if just hard staring them down until they flinch first, and then the reaction time for May ult is actually a little more forgiving than like grab or pulse, really. So yeah, it's
Right.
seen a lot of them.
All right. Well, again, thank you for the questions. I've got a playlist here. If you'd like to join the stream here, we've got in the Discord call of a few replays that we've got going on, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah, we can start that playlist moving now. I remember this. Okay, a lot of damage to that window. I noticed a lot of overcommitting ults in this fight in particular. You see a lot of them popping off. You've already got 3 picks, but 3 more ultimates came out from your side.
Yeah, that's another thing we're working on too. A lot of times if someone sees an ult, they'll just go for it. But a lot of that will be fixed by just like talking about like what they use pre-fight.
I agree. Yeah, I think just determining combos and things that you need to do before they fight generally works out well. I've got Barry on a little bit of a flank here.
Yeah, there was
on
some
the high
maps where he
ground.
just hard carried us. It was crazy the stuff he was doing.
Oh yeah, Barry was doing, like you said, very well on some of those maps. Right here, we've got another well done. Although I gotta say, there was a lot of good team performance here. Those bombs that you had, the eats. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a diva effectively carry so hard in my life. I mean, really well done.
I don't know if you can see it in the match chat, but I think it was the May typed like "Diva, I hate you" after like the
Oh
third
yeah,
last thing.
yeah.
That was pretty
I
funny.
did see that. Yeah, yet again, another nice flux out of you on Blizzard World. I really enjoyed that one. And nice little Barry highlight for you if you wanted to see how Barry warms up his aim. Really good stuff. A lot of highlights from this one. And believe me, it's a compliment when I say you've got a nice diva. My previous captain was like a 4.4 diva main. So really good stuff out of you today.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you for the interview. This has been Now Loading Esports. I appreciate all your time. Have a good night and take care.